if your penis no longer gets hard like it used to, if your energy feels drained, if you find yourself pulling away from intimacy, not because you want to, but because your body just isn't responding, then hear this. It may not be aging. It may be something far simpler and far more fixable. A deficiency in 3 essential vitamins your body is silently crying out for. I'm Dr. Mohit Kara, a men's health specialist with over 3 decades of experience, helping men over 60 reclaim the vitality, energy, and sexual confidence they thought was gone for good. Here's what most doctors won't tell you. Many older men aren't lacking desire. They're lacking circulation, stamina, and hormonal support. And in most cases, the solution doesn't begin in a pharmacy. It begins in your kitchen. Today, I'm going to reveal the 3 specific vitamins every man over 60 should be taking to naturally support stronger erections, boost testosterone, and bring your energy back to life. And stay with me, because in just a moment, I'll also expose the #1 mistake men make when taking these vitamins, and how to avoid it starting tonight. But first, if this kind of content matters to you, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss vital health tips created specifically for men over 60. And if you relate to this message, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, drop a 0 and let me know what you're looking for. Now let's get started with the first and most overlooked nutrient that plays a huge role in restoring blood flow and natural performance. It's something your body used to make easily, especially when you spent time outdoors. But as you age, your levels drop sharply, and so do your circulation, energy, and performance. 1. Vitamin D, the circulation spark plug. I'll never forget a 67-year-old patient named Paul. Sharp mind, caring husband, but deeply frustrated. He sat across from me and said, "Doc, I still want to be close to my wife, but my body just doesn't cooperate anymore." That quiet confession, I've heard it hundreds of times, and more often than not, the first thing I check is vitamin D levels. We think of vitamin D as something you get from sunlight, or something kids need for strong bones. But here's what most men don't know. Vitamin D is a direct switch for better blood flow. It helps blood vessels open up and deliver oxygen-rich blood to vital areas, including the ones that define your masculinity. Without it, blood flow slows, energy drops, and intimacy becomes harder, both emotionally and physically. Over 40% of older adults are deficient in vitamin D. Even men who eat well and stay active often ask me, "Why don't I feel like myself anymore?" Here's why. When vitamin D is low, your body makes less nitric oxide, a key molecule that keeps your blood flowing smoothly and supports sexual function. And this isn't just about sex. It's about
15
stamina,
to 20 minutes
mental
of
clarity.
morning sunlight daily.
Add foods like salmon, tuna, and fortified dairy. And if needed, supplement with high-quality vitamin D3, which is better absorbed than D2. I've had patients who couldn't finish a short walk suddenly feel energetic again, reconnecting with their partners in ways they thought were behind them. This isn't hype, it's biochemistry, and it's one of the fastest ways to reclaim your vitality. But circulation is only one piece of the puzzle. Even if your blood is flowing well, your body needs the energy to sustain it and turn it into performance. That brings us to the second vitamin, and if you've been feeling tired for no reason, this could be the missing link. 2. Vitamin B12, the energy generator. A few years ago, I met Robert, 72, retired firefighter, proud grandfather, but he looked worn out. He said, "Doc, I sleep 8 hours, eat well, but I still feel drained. My brain's foggy, my body's tired, and when it's time to be intimate with my wife, I just don't have it in me." This vitamin is essential for energy production. Retired, without it, your body can't convert food into usable fuel, no matter how well you eat or how long you sleep. In short, without enough B12, your system runs on empty. B12 is also critical for making red blood cells, the ones that carry oxygen to your muscles, brain, and yes, your sexual organs. When those cells are lacking, everything slows down. Stamina fades, focus dulls, and you may start feeling disconnected from the very things that used to excite you. And here's the catch. As you age, your ability to absorb vitamin B12 from food naturally declines. Even if you're eating plenty of meat, eggs, or dairy, it may not be enough. That's why so many older men feel weak, tired, or mentally foggy, even when their basic health markers look fine on paper. The fix? In many cases, it's surprisingly simple. Boosting B12 levels through high-quality supplements, or in some cases, doctor-administered B12 injections, can make a dramatic difference. I've seen men go from nodding off in the afternoon to hiking, laughing, and being fully present with their loved ones, just from correcting a deficiency they never even knew they had. But energy isn't the full picture. Your body also needs protection, something that strengthens your blood vessels, reduces inflammation, and supports the hormones that define masculinity. That brings us to our third key nutrient. 3. Vitamin E, the fertility defender. Let me tell you about James, a 70-year-old retired pilot who came into my clinic feeling lost. He said, "Doc, I eat clean, I exercise, I'm doing everything right. But lately, something's off. My drive's down. I'm not bouncing back the way I used to. Honestly, I just don't feel like a man anymore." That hit hard. James wasn't lazy. He wasn't unhealthy. Vitamin E is so much more than a skin supplement or fertility aid. It's a biological powerhouse, especially for men over 60. It acts as a natural antioxidant, fighting the oxidative stress and silent inflammation that slowly wear down your blood vessels, hormones, and reproductive function. As inflammation builds up, blood flow weakens, testosterone levels dip, energy crashes. It doesn't happen overnight, but over time, men like James start losing their edge without knowing why. What makes vitamin E special is its ability to keep your blood vessels flexible, promote strong circulation, and help your body naturally boost testosterone production. And remember, erections aren't just about desire, they're about blood flow. If blood can't reach where it needs to go, performance suffers, no matter how much you care or try. Low testosterone doesn't just affect the bedroom, it affects your mood, motivation, and sense of purpose. The good news? Vitamin E is easy to restore with the right foods and supplements. Start with almonds, sunflower seeds, olive oil, leafy greens like spinach or Swiss chard, and if needed, consider a natural, high-quality vitamin E supplement to fill in the gaps. I've had men like James return just months later, feeling stronger, clearer, and more alive than they had in years. Why these 3 vitamins work better together, you might be wondering. Okay, these sound important, but do they actually work together? The answer: yes, and that's where the real magic happens. When combined correctly, vitamin D, B12, and vitamin E don't just support individual systems, they create a ripple effect, amplifying each other's benefits and helping you feel sharper, more energized, and fully present in your body again. Vitamin D jumpstarts blood flow and hormone balance. B12 fuels that flow with lasting energy. Vitamin E protects and supports testosterone, circulation, and long-term vitality. It's not just about harder erections or more energy. It's about living better, feeling more like yourself, waking up each day with clarity, confidence, and a sense of purpose. I once had a patient named Walter, 68 years old, a retired high school coach who had always prided himself on staying active and mentally sharp. He had already been taking vitamin D for circulation. Then, he added B12 when he started feeling sluggish. Eventually, he began including vitamin E after I explained its role in hormone support. But here's the thing. It wasn't until Walter started taking all 3 vitamins consistently and in the right dosages that something truly changed. I'll never forget the day he walked into my office, smiling from ear to ear. "Doc," he said, "I don't know what you did, but I feel like I've got a new engine." That's the power of synergy. These vitamins don't just work independently. They support and enhance each other's effects. Vitamin D boosts circulation by increasing nitric oxide production. Together they form what I call the vitality triangle: circulation, energy, hormonal support, working in harmony. This balance becomes especially important as you age, because as the years go on, nutrient absorption slows, inflammation increases, and recovery takes longer. Often it's not a single deficiency holding men back, but the lack of synergy between nutrients. But when you get the balance right, you wake up feeling more rested, you think more clearly, you react faster, physically and emotionally, and your confidence returns. That's not something a prescription can fake. It's your body remembering how it's supposed to feel. And Walter, he's not alone. I've seen this transformation in countless men. Once they start treating these vitamins as a daily foundation, not just a backup plan. But most men never experience these results. Why? Because they're unknowingly making a common mistake that sabotages their progress without even realizing it. Let's talk about what that mistake is and how to fix it. 1. Mistake most men over 60 make. One morning, a man named Gerald, 74 years old, walked into my office carrying a plastic grocery bag full of supplements. He laid out the bottles on my desk and said, "Doc, I've been taking all of these for months, but I still feel tired, foggy, and honestly, nothing's improving down there." I could see the frustration in his eyes, and I've heard this story far too many times before. Here's the truth. The biggest mistake most older men make is believing that just taking supplements is enough, but not all vitamins are created equal. They assume any pill with vitamin D or B12 on the label will do the trick, so they buy cheap, synthetic versions from discount stores or online. But what they don't know is the form, the quality, and the dosage all determine whether your body actually absorbs the vitamin or just flushes it out. For example, vitamin B12. Most generic brands use cyanocobalamin, a synthetic form that older men often can't convert properly. What you want instead is methylcobalamin, the active form your body can actually use. Vitamin D. Many products use vitamin D2, which is cheaper, but significantly less effective than vitamin D3. Vitamin E. Some synthetic versions don't provide the full spectrum your body needs to support testosterone, blood flow, and cell protection. But poor quality isn't the only issue. Another common mistake? Inconsistency. Taking a vitamin once or twice a week, when you remember, isn't going to move the needle. Your body thrives on rhythm. It needs steady, consistent support to rebuild circulation, restore energy, and balance hormones. This isn't about chasing a quick fix. It's about creating a daily habit that fuels your long-term vitality. So if you're not feeling the benefits you expected, it may not be the vitamins. It may be how you're taking them. When Gerald finally switched to higher quality vitamin forms and started taking them consistently, the change was dramatic. Within a month, he told me, "Doc, I'm sleeping better, waking up energized, and honestly, I feel like a man again." That transformation didn't come from trying harder. It came from doing it right. Now that you understand what works and what to avoid, the next step is learning how to make this a part of your daily life without it becoming complicated. So let's get practical. Your daily vitality routine. When I work with older men, one of the most common things I hear is, "Doc, just tell me what to do each day. I don't need complicated. I just need something that works." That's a request I respect deeply. Because by this stage of life, most men aren't looking for fads or flashy promises. They want a simple, reliable routine that helps them feel strong, energized, and themselves again. Let me introduce you to Frank, a 66-year-old former carpenter who came to me after months of struggling with low energy, poor sleep, and a fading spark in the bedroom. We didn't flip his world upside down. We built a simple, powerful routine, centered around the 3 essential vitamins we've been talking about. Here's what it looked like. Each morning, Frank started his day with a full glass of water and a high-quality B12 supplement, taken with a protein-rich breakfast. After breakfast, he took a 15-minute walk outside, just enough sunlight to naturally boost vitamin D levels. On cloudy days or during winter, he added a vitamin D3 supplement with his first meal. For vitamin E, Frank added a handful of almonds or sunflower seeds mid-morning, and drizzled olive oil over his lunchtime salad. That's it. No extreme routines, no pills by the handful, just small, deliberate choices repeated daily. Within weeks, Frank had more energy to play with his grandkids, more interest in being close with his wife, and a sense of confidence that had quietly faded over the years. He didn't feel like a younger version of himself. He felt like a stronger, more grounded man, clear, connected, and in control. Because the truth is, you don't need magic. You need consistency, the right nutrients in the right forms, and a mindset that says, I'm still in control of my health, because you are. We've talked about 3 essential vitamins: vitamin D, the circulation spark plug; vitamin B12, the energy generator; vitamin E, the fertility and testosterone defender. You still have time to feel stronger, to reconnect, to live fully, boldly, and without apology. You've already taken the first step by being here. Now, it's time to take the next one. If this video or message spoke to you, if it helped, encouraged, or even just made you think, hit that like button so we know it made a difference. Share it with a friend, brother, or anyone who needs to hear this.